Hello, 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 everybody. How are we all doing? I'm hoping very. I don't know why that gets louder before it fades out every time, but I hope we're all doing very well. Leeds United have today played against Sheffield Wednesday in a match that a hell of a lot of people, including me, had a few worries about in the lead up to. So I very firmly was of the opinion that this could be one of the cat is meowing at me because I've started speaking and she therefore thinks there's more people in the house. She's an idiot. But the general sort of... You've ruined my train of thought there. Thank you, God. I had the sort of general idea that if there were to be a landmine match, it would be this sort of game. A side where reputationally everyone thinks Sheffield Wednesday aren't all that. When you think about recent form and stuff, you look at them and you say, well, they're 10th, they're not that great. But then you dig into it a little bit deeper and you're like, well, okay, sure. Their away form is very good. They are potentially a little bit of a problem. But we came through it very comfortably and very calmly. And I'd spoken to a couple of people that were a little bit spooked throughout that match. And I think the only Leeds Bros guy said something along the lines of they thought that it was one of those that could probably turn out to be a 1-1 draw. But I'm going to have a quick little look into all the numbers and stuff, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat. And I'm just going to sort of bounce off the chat for a little bit because I'm kind of curious as to what you guys are thinking. It's not going to be a very long stream. It's going to be just about half an hour. Basically, I wanted to do a stream after work. Once I'm done, I'm going to ping you all over in the direction of Only Leeds Bros because they are doing a stream with Evie at 8 o'clock. So it's going to be very nice for everyone to hop over there and say hello and have a nice chat. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way that match went. She is demanding attention right now, and I do not know how to give enough of it for her to sort of soothe. But yeah, I'm basically very happy. So let me know what your thoughts were in the chat, and we'll have a little bit of a discussion about it. This is basically my take on it, right? So we went through the match. Everyone got a little bit spooked because from time to time they would like try and hit us on the counter, and they had a couple of corners and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, we scored in the 3rd minute. And from that point onwards, they had a couple of moments of having a little bit of control, but for the vast majority of that game, claws. That's not where you want claws. For the vast majority of the game, it was nice and it was calm and it was good and it was basically fine. Matthew P thought that our left side was open quite a lot. I'm going to have a look at some of the numbers on SofaScore. Just see if they've got various bits of heat maps and stuff like that so I can have a quick look. To be fair, weirdly, more of Sheffield Wednesday's attacks that actually got into our third, censor yourself, woman, were down our right-hand side. Wait. No, wait, yeah, they were down our left. Never mind, I can't read. But it worked out in the end. I think, personally, I kind of want to see Junior Firpo come back into the side very soon. I wouldn't have wanted him for a full 90, because I don't think he's quite ready for that yet. But I would have liked him for some time. Get more minutes in his legs. Get him back to that fit and firing way of doing things. And it'll be okay. But that ended up not working out, not happening. But we did make some very nice subs as well. Ramazani is the obvious one. Scoring one. And I don't know if you can hear her purring. But she's right up against the microphone. But Ramazani, the obvious one. Goal and an assist. You had Nonto didn't do tons, but Nonto didn't really have time to do tons. Mateo Joseph was basically fine. I've got no complaints in either direction. And Ilya Grove came on and was pretty decent. What did I think about Solomon today? I thought about Solomon today the exact same thing. I've been thinking about Solomon for a little bit of a while now, where the guy is just too good at football at the minute. There were a couple of times where he'd run into an area of the pitch and there'd be 3 players surrounding him. And he would maybe also immediately think, this could be a bit of a problem here. But because he's very good at what he does, he just still found the way to sort of magic his way around them and make sure that that threat to our possession was no longer a threat to our possession because, screw it, we've got the ball now. What are you going to do about it? And he just danced his way through their back line. And I think there's a very genuine shout if he keeps it up at this same consistent rate of him being one of our players of the season. Definitely a candidate. Because he's, when fit, obscenely consistent at doing that. The way he looks after a ball is something that does not happen in the Championship. And the fact that we signed him in the first place is, I think, Spurs' attempt to say, go somewhere and get yourself fit. But in the long run, working it out, it very much landed in the territory of, oh, he's got himself fit, and now he's just going to destroy the Championship for 6 months. Which is sort of what we needed, to be honest. We needed a player that could come in and go, I'm just going to beat everyone here, and there is nothing that you can do about it. And that's sort of perfect. Never going to be mad about Mana Solomon being Mana Solomon, because what a guy, you know? And this is it as well. Did what we had to. And I've seen a few people saying like bits and bobs about the performance and about how we weren't quite as front-footed as we'd want to see. There is something to that, and I can see some people being really, really annoyed at that. But all you need to do is win. And as much as some people say that we should be like battering teams week in, week out, they at the same time say if we want to keep up with Sheffield United, if we want to keep up with Burnley, Sheffield United have scored 13 goals less than we have this season. Burnley have scored 20 fewer than we have this season. We've got the excitement part down. We're really good at the excitement part. We're really good at what we do. It's just, as I've been saying all season long, the individual errors that sometimes creep in that causes that little bit of a problem that we need to just shut down, slam the door on those, and we'll be completely fine. When it comes to the front four, it's genuinely a very, very good question because I don't know. It depends on who we're against. It depends on various bits of player fitness. I'm a little bit concerned on Brendan Aronson. I'll be completely honest with you. Because his injury looks like a potential concern. Because if he's out, we don't have another straight 10. But then again, you could just give Ramazani a go there because he basically did a similar job to that for the first goal. And the second goal, he was also in that same sort of area, admittedly from a set piece. But injury, question mark. Injury-ish. When he came off, it was after sitting down on the pitch for a decent sum of time, grabbing at his ankle. So I don't know whether it's just a rolled ankle. I don't know whether it's something proper. I didn't see what Daniel Farke said in his press conference because I went from watching the match to work. So I've not seen anything in the sort of middle area. But if he is injured, I would probably go with Ramazani. If he's not injured, there's maybe a shout for Ramazani there as well, because Norwich didn't look too impressive in their match this week. And that's who we've got on Wednesday. I've been told Aronson had an injury in the first half and played on. That's interesting. Him managing to keep going is very good because that's sort of what you need in the Championship. You need someone who is going to be solid and strong and keep on going regardless of what's been thrown at them. And if Brendan Aronson is able to show even a little bit of that, then we're in a very, very nice condition. On the Buendia thing, I'm convinced we don't do Buendia. If we do Buendia, it will be a miracle because I don't see that drop to the Championship happening. It'd be nice. I'd love it. But not super convinced. 1 second. Bosh. Cool. Sorry, had to double check a thing. We link with anyone. We'll link with a lot of people, but they're not necessarily the strongest of links. And it looks like if it is an injury, it looks minor because he played through it. But I think we probably need a 10 anyway. And I think that's going to get done at some point anyway. So I'm not in a place where I'm being super stressy about it, because if you're super stressy about it, then you're just going to get yourself worked up and spooked and scared. That'd be nice. I am in the spot where I definitely think that we need someone that can play not just at centre-back, but probably across the line. I think Omar Bamadeli fits in that perfectly. If he ends up coming in, spectacular. If he doesn't end up coming in, sad. But we'll have to find out. We've still got a big old chunk of window left as well. We've got, I'm just going to look at my little wall calendar. We've got 2 weeks, 15 days to get something done, because it's not just the end of January in this window, it is a little bit of February. And yeah, I think stuff gets done. I would be very, very surprised if nothing got done. Good evening indeed, Black Wedge. Matthew P, you're willing to. I was watching. Was it yesterday? Let's have a look. Yeah. The shift that I was doing yesterday was Juventus. And me and the guy that I was working with both sort of chatted to each other and were like, do you understand how he's a professional footballer either? And we were both like, no, to be honest. That man has never seen a gym in his life. And I think I called him the single-handed reason for us getting relegated, which isn't necessarily true. Like, he didn't make Jesse Marsh's tactics happen. That doesn't mean I have to be happy with him and his existence. I was hoping one comes in before Norwich. Now, I've always been thinking it's going to be late in the window. I think that probably between Norwich and Burnley is my guess for a first signing. Other than that, as long as something gets done, I'm not particularly bothered. It's not like we've got super short-term concerns as well. I think big decisions will be made when the Norwich match happens, because if I remember correctly, Pascal Struijk was going to have his scan midweek this coming week, which to me says like Wednesday is not necessarily a bad time for him to have said scan. And then once he has had the scan, we'll have a better idea of if we need a loan or a loan to buy or anything along those lines. As long as once we have the answer on Struijk, we act accordingly, I'm fine with it as long as it's before the end of the window. Like, that'll be okay. Every year, all through January, I think to myself, well, there's a long time left of the window to sign players, but then suddenly the window's almost going to be signed literally nobody. Yeah, but I think the instances in which we desperately needed to sign people, being like the relegation season, fair enough. We absolutely didn't do enough. Well, we did stuff. Example, the Georgie signing is a pretty good one, but it was the wrong stuff. Ruter wasn't what we needed that season. We needed a goal-scoring 9, and we got a playmaker. And then last season, it was a case of get Connor Roberts in, but Connor Roberts wasn't better than Archie Gray, which I don't know if that's the fault of recruitment or if that's just the best right back we could possibly get at that point. But yeah, I don't know. There's a reason that some people are experts and do transfer stuff. But it's hard to say, I suppose. Was the ref as bad as he looked in the ground? There were many, many shouts where I thought that was genuinely shocking. That was dreadful. The weird handball one in the first half, I don't know. I didn't. We're not going to talk about the Grey goal. Not happening. The weird handball in the first half was odd. Could you tell me what happened with that one? Because I didn't properly see it, and there weren't any replays, and that sort of made me feel that must have been a bad call then, because otherwise you would have shown us what happened by now. But they didn't, so I'm assuming it was really, really bad. No, can't remember. Fair enough, because it was piled on by a lot of other awful, awful shouts. Oh my God, Sean's giving Farke props. I have to give Farke props for having the ball to play Melia in, knowing if it goes wrong, Farke will be slated. Right. What I'm going to say on this one is, and this isn't a defense of Melier before some of the nutters say it is, this is just a general sweeping statement about how football viewers tend to deem things. If, clip it up, if you are Ilham Melier at this point, and if you look at what he does for the rest of the season, and if for the rest of the season, up until the final day, it's absolutely spotless, perfect goalkeeping stuff, I feel it won't matter if he even has a slip up once we're promoted and he has a mistake on the final day of the season. I think so many people have pinned themselves onto that particular issue where they don't want to be proven wrong. It's the same thing with everyone that wants to say Farke out, right? So, and this isn't specifically saying that it's Sean saying this, but people that have said Farke out now will, even if we go up, even if we are top of the league, say next season, if we go on a run of 3 losses in a row to Villa, Forest, Palace, if we lose those 3 in a row, at any point, people will still go, told you Farke was bad. Because they're already preparing their arguments in advance. Because this is the weird sort of place we're in with the way that online discussion works now, where everyone doesn't pay attention to changing evidence. Everyone instead says, this is my opinion, I'm going to wait for it to be right. But that's such a sad way of watching things. Because at the same time, if you are a Leeds fan in the Bielsa era, right? And if you are someone that has pinned yourself to the I don't like Bielsa thing after the first season, you could make the exact same argument in the season where he got sacked and say, see, told you it would go wrong eventually. Because everyone says that E word. Everyone says eventually. And just says, at some point, something will go wrong. And yeah, obviously that's the case. But at the moment, the way that I'm looking at the Meslier stuff is we can't change who Daniel Farke picks. So I think we just back Meslier at this point. Or at least not saying back him as in like, you're doing great, honey, even when it goes wrong. But more of a sort of not screaming at him as loud as we can, because a lot of people quite like to do that. And I feel like that's going to do more harm than it will good. He was a bit weak on corners. That's completely fair. Yeah. I think the way that I put it on Jer's stream over on Big Up was it looks like as someone that is low on confidence and knows that he's made mistakes, he is currently in the situation of being someone that wants to fix having done something wrong by doing something right. And you're not always in a position where you have to just straight up do something. You can, as Illan Meslier, be in a... I'll skip those ads, it's fine. I'm only doing a half-hour stream today. But if you are Illan Meslier, you can just do nothing. That's fine. And you've not made a mistake. But he's in a spot where he wants to do something that is good to make up for the things that he's done that are bad. And that in itself is probably going to lead to even more mistakes, which isn't fun, but it's fine. Pretty over the Meslier stuff, he'll make another 1 second. He'll make another balls up, but plays in front of McLaren. Yeah, but everyone makes those mistakes. That's the thing. Joe, Nonto's only 21. I know, it's weird. No one remembers that Nonto's 21. And there's something that everyone is at the age of 21, but I'm not going to get into that because that could be considered rude. Never mind. I saw this. It was fantastic. Right, hold on. I was watching this in the background of work because I was working on an event at the same time, but we've got the rights to it, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll have a watch. The specific conversation I had with someone is at 15:21. I said, ha 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 ha. I just want Rutter to score now, and my day is made. His response a minute later, I'm sure we can make that happen, don't worry. And I reply, I appreciate that. You're so kind and charitable. A few minutes later, what did I tell you? We'd provide you with a gift. I wonder which of our keepers has the worst mistakes compilation. And in response to that, I said, before we start with that mistakes compilation, a quick reminder, you could have bought 11 Illan Mesliers for 1 Andre Onana. Poor guys. Oh, they're suffering over there. But it's funny. So as long as it's funny for us, that's what matters, isn't it? Alex says I'm a stinker. What? Fan, lovely. Wonderful. Excellent. Emotionally damaged. That's fine. I understand. It hurts the soul so much. Yes, I will be pinging folks over to Only Leeds Bros when it comes to the end of this stream, which should be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with that result, to be honest. And if you look at the match that we've got coming up, admittedly, not the easiest match. So it is Norwich at home, should win. Norwich not looking great. They're missing... Is it Sainz they're missing? It might be Sainz they're missing. Followed by Burnley away from home. I didn't know until just now, or at least like a couple of hours back, Burnley haven't lost at home this season yet. They've not got very good home form. They're 6th in the form table because they've drawn more than they've won. They've drawn 7, they've won 6. But they are basically immune to losing at home. They've conceded 4 in 13 matches. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun little challenge for us that we're going to have to deal with. But I think we'll be okay. After Burnley, Cardiff at home, we should absolutely piss that, let's be honest. Then a little bit more of a challenge, Millwall at home, but that's in the FA Cup, so I'm not too bothered about that. Then it is Watford, then it is Sunderland, then it's Sheffield United. So that is not a very, very fun February. I hope we get a cheeky little 5th round FA Cup match in that. That'd be very nice. Be a shame if we don't. I'm kind of mad that the Millwall match isn't on the Friday, because if it was on the Friday, it'd be like wonderful. We got an FA Cup match on my birthday. Didn't now, but that's okay. We need to get past that Burnley defence. That's the thing, though. I don't. Do we? Do we need to get past them? Because I don't know if I hate a draw. A lot of people, I promise you, if we draw that game, the head loss will be obscene. Everyone will just melt. But, like, a draw against Burnley ain't bad. And it feels like as a fan base right now, we're in a spot where we default to things are bad anytime that anything is competitive. So there was a match recently, which was it? It might have been Hull? Hull, yeah. Hull, no. I've forgotten. Blackburn, I think. I think it was the Blackburn match, where immediately afterwards, everyone on the internet was just like, this is awful. We're screwed. It's terrible. But, like, Blackburn are a good side. And it feels like we're borderline allergic to actually competitive games of football. Like, we need to remember, Burnley came down last summer, have the full parachute payments, have a very, very good squad, and have conceded a grand total of 9 goals in 27 matches. I don't think we will genuinely outperform them. I think we'll score we'll score against them. I hope we win against them. But yeah. And it kind of ties a little bit into this for me. With Reese saying, just joined, so apologies if this has been a bit interesting. The Wednesday keeper makes a mistake and they lose 3-0, and their reaction is we played well on to the next one. Yeah, for me, it's that flip-flopping thing of you need to land somewhere sane from time to time. And we're not very good at that. We're good at saying things are great or things are horrible, where sometimes you just say people can make a mistake. And yeah, Melly's probably made a few too many mistakes, but it's all right, and it'll be fine. Yeah, every mistake seems like a crisis because it feels like this is if we don't go up this season, we're not going up next season, because parachute payments drop from 45% of TV revenue that the Premier League clubs get to 15, which is a big fall and a problem. Yeah, this is like, I had someone ask me recently, like, what's the goal of your channel? And I was like, oh my God, I don't know. But I had a little bit of think about it afterwards. And I think the place that I landed was to have Leeds United conversations in like a sensible way and a rational and sort of controlled way, just because I feel like we need that sometimes. I feel like we're too good at jumping to the, oh God, it's bad. Whereas sometimes it can be, we drop points, but we'll be okay. Which is where I like to sit. Like, when we didn't make it to the Premier League, I said this on the Leeds Bros a couple of days ago. Yesterday? I don't know. At some point recently, the days are blurring. But I said on there that, like, yeah, we didn't go up last season, and that was really bad. But would you rather be where we are right now or where Southampton are right now? Because at least we're having some fun. Like, Southampton go 2-0 up against Man United and still lose. Like, at least we're not there. That's good. I just realised I didn't respond to this. Welcome, Jones, if you're free, mate. I will be potentially free for a little bit, but not especially long. So I will do my best, but I will have to let you know. If you ping me the link and I might be able to dip in for like 5-10 minutes, then that would be absolutely lovely. But I don't know how long I can do so for. This is kind of fun. I don't know why, but this feels satisfying. Anyway, we have generational PTSD. I mean, yes, but also same. First match I remember going to at Elland Road was, I think, a playoff match against Millwall or something like that, and we ended up didn't get promoted. And then, yeah, the on-fun period. But it's fine. It's all right. It's all good. It'll be okay. I think it's a good time right now to be a Leeds fan. Because for the first time in a lot of people's lifetimes, you've got, or at least a lot of people sort of being conscious of football lifetimes, being me. Hey, we've got an owner that doesn't just want us promoted, because let's be honest, Radrazani wanted us promoted, but has the resources to back us once we are promoted. Because you look at what happened last summer in terms of transfers, and as much as everyone says they're trying to do it on the cheap, etc., Solomon isn't on low wages. Ramazani is not cheap. We've signed, for me, currently the best midfielder in the league. We already, the year before, signed Ampadu and Gruev and Piru and Kamara, who then left. We've done a hell of a lot of business, and we're very much pointing in the right direction right now. And I think if we are able to keep that momentum going into next season, if we do go up, I'm feeling very happy, very confident. And I think for a lot of people, and admittedly, sure, there's a one-season period that's better than this. I would say the first season in the Premier League under Bielsa, but even then, we weren't in the ground. So I think as periods to support Leeds United go, this is one of the best ones. So I can't be mad. I pulled out some numbers the other day, and it's in Leeds United's history, Daniel Farke as a manager has the most goals per 90, fewest goals against per 90, most clean sheets per 90, highest win percentage. And then people come back and say, yeah, but it's about context. Forever he was doing it in the Premier League. Not at first. Started in the second division and then got the club promoted. I'm seeing a parallel. And this isn't me saying that he's the next Remy or something, because that's stupid, because that isn't a thing. That's never going to be a thing. But it's me saying, just give it time. Everyone's shouting, get out. Be fine. It'll be all right. We'll all be good, and we will stay good. And we'll go up, and we'll have a party, and we'll watch Southampton and Leicester, and I hope Everton on the way down. And we will point, and we will laugh. And we will desperately try and stay in the Premier League the season after that, because the alternative is we see them going the other way around the next season. But I think we'll be fine. It's not a complete overhaul, it's just adding into the quality. We have too many changes that the team... Yeah, I think... Let's be honest, our wide areas, I think, are already Premier League standard. James, Nonto, Solomon, if we can keep him, that's a big question mark. Ramazani, if we can keep those, wonderful. I think they're Premier League level. Tanaka, I think, could give it a good go. Ampadu, I think, could give it a good go. Gruev, maybe. Fullbacks and centre-back are where the big questions are. Probably need another keeper. Probably need another number 9. But we've got a decent level of a squad there. And every single player there is at least reasonable squad depth in the event of promotion. But that's the general sort of vibe I'm going with here. I think he had a PR problem. I think his entire thing was, I want to look good. I want to look like I'm the savior of this club. When the reality of it was, that turns into, I'm going to DM Fabrizio Romano everything. And then everything leaks. And you get situations like that. We've signed Gakpo. No, we've not. He's not even considering it. We've signed Bamba Dieng. No, we've not. Not even considering it. What do you mean on the plane? We've signed Willie Nonto. We needed a number 9. Shit. We don't get those situations right now because the ownership isn't asked about the optics. And that's such a good place to be, where we're just a little bit more comfy, a little bit more cozy, and things are just feeling a lot more okay. Runner in the dirt this season that need to sell if they don't get Europe this season. Absolutely, yes. And that is where we will find the next Rafinha, and we will absolutely piss the league using Rafinha 2. I'm trying to think of a pun there. Tufinha, that'll do. The fans sometimes mistake their panic and pessimism for where the players and manager are feeling the job is to deal with pressure. Ours is to try not let our craziness get to the players. Yeah, pretty much. Didn't Rads offer a fan to the boardroom? I don't know what you mean. What will happen with Charlie Crew if we go up? I think he will continue the development route that you get for almost all young players, where he will still potentially go out on loan somewhere based on how he does this season. So if he does really well, is it Doncaster? Is that? If he does really well at Doncaster, excellent. Then maybe League One or Championship next. If he does quite crap at Doncaster, cool, give League Two another go. And you can just keep up with that, and it'll all be completely fine. Basically, go back to the standard way of doing things rather than this youngster's going to be a superstar. Happens once in a generation. And we had it last year. Which sucks, but it's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream there, but the fun does not stop here. I have not been the main event. I have simply been a pre-show for the far more interesting discussion that we are that we are likely going to find over on Only Leeds Bros. I've set up a redirect, so I'm going to end the stream, and we are all going to go over there. And we are... What do we shout? What do we shout at them? Right, okay. I'm going to put it in the chat. Can we copy and paste that into the Only Leeds Bros chat for me, please? That would be massively appreciated. I'm going to end the stream now. You're all going to get redirected over, and it'll be a good time. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, pop a like on it, subscribe, become a channel member, all that fun stuff. And I will see you later. Toodaloo.